Well, it's good to play somebody else, and it's good to get a win. I thought we did some good things out there today. Obviously, know we have a lot to work on. Have a lot of respect for that team. For Gannon, they have a lot of guys back. They were one of the top teams in the country in their division, field goal percentage defense. They really jam it up, try to jam it up inside. And I thought in the second half we got into a little bit of a better rhythm offensively. We had some moments where we played really well defensively, but we have to be able to sustain it. So again, it was a great test for us. Good to play against someone else. Not sure the status of Nike's injury yet. Hopefully we'll know a little bit more tomorrow. Certainly that's a blow for us, but depending on what happens, could be an opportunity for others to step up.
Do you know what happened?
He said that earlier he banged knees. He went knee to knee with someone, and he tried to play through it. And then when he went on the under out of bounds to receive the pass, he came to a jump stop and his knee gave out.
Yeah, Jeff, when you were, later in the offseason looking to add guys and ended up picking up Mo, what did you see in him that you thought could really benefit this team, and how much of what we saw tonight kind of embodied what you thought he could contribute?
Well, I thought he was a really talented man. I can't say young kid with him, but I thought he was a really talented guy. Obviously, the thing that stood out was defense, his ability to block shots, his ability to impact shots. He had this long athlete that, at times made these wow plays. And we thought with his length, his versatility, especially defensively, he would be able to, really help our team. We thought pairing him beside John, would be something that could be really good for us. Because if you look at a lot of his block shots, they come from off the ball. Him coming over and helping and things like that. When we got him, we felt like once we started working with him, he was a little bit better offensively than we thought. And he's really put in a lot of work on that side of it. Learning how to slow down a little bit, being stronger, playing stronger, all of those things. And so he's a good player, and we need him to continue to get better for us.
Jeff, what do you see that William has to do to be more consistent on offense? Looked like he was figuring himself early, but then there were a couple possessions where he had some really good reps.
Yeah, I think Will's a talented young kid. He's a worker. He wants to be really good. He's gotten better. I think one of the biggest things is just becoming more consistent shooting the basketball. Made a big three for us that kind of ignited us there in the second half. But I think just shooting and good shots, understanding, and then being able to knock in shots.
With all the new faces, Jeff, how are these guys coming together as a team?
It's been good. As you get into playing, that's when you really find out. When you're not playing, everyone's together. But when you start playing and then playing time is divvied out and things like that, that's when you really find out. But it's been good. It's been a really good group to work with. I'm excited to come every day and to try to help us get better.
Kind of building on that, Jeff, how much, I guess we even maybe saw it a little bit tonight, half to half. How much, with there being new guys on the team, how much of a feeling out process are you kind of anticipating? Obviously, understand that they've practiced and worked out a lot together, but.
Yeah, it's still, filling it out. I mean, practice is one thing, but when you get out and the lights are on and people are in the stands and you're playing against someone else that, maybe doesn't know all of your stuff, don't cheat the plays like they do in practice. You start to find out different things. For us, it was the first time that we had a lot of guys. This was their first time under the lights here. And so I think you saw some guys get better as the game went on and do some things as they were able to relax and calm down a little bit. I thought there were nerves. There was all of that, which is to be expected. That's why games like these are good for us. And again, we just have to keep building. This gives us 40 minutes of tape to look at, to go and evaluate, to show, collectively as a group, individually to, the guys that we work with. And, Now we have some stuff on film against other people where we can look and say, hey, look, this is what we're talking about. We have to get better. You got to improve in this area, or this is what's open, or here's the read here, or defensively you have to do it, for 30 seconds, not for 26. And so this was good for us. We'll learn from it. We'll get better, and we'll get back to work.
How has Femi progressed since the end of last season?
I think he's matured a lot. When he plays with energy, talking, animated, we are a lot better. He's a lot better, and we're a lot better. But I think he's shooting the basketball better. I think he has a better understanding of what we need from him. Defensively, I think he's better than he was. I just think he's better all around. He had a full summer to work out. He didn't have an accident like he had last year where he was out for a while, and so knock on wood, he's been able to be there every day for us and to really help us and to get better. But when he has energy, practice play because his energy is infectious. He's a guy that everyone likes, and he's really funny, and he can be very charismatic. We need that from him all the time. I think he's starting to understand that now.
Jeff, how do you spark that energy?
There's some things we do in practice. There's some conversations that we have, a lot of tape, a lot of one-on-one meetings, individual meetings, sending him stuff, talking to him constantly. His teammates telling him, how much we need that because it's very different. It's very, very different, when he's not that way. And we're not as good when he's not that way.
How much different is it now? And I know I asked you this, after the first practice we got to see, but you're getting your hands on these guys a lot more than last year. You're getting a lot more face to face. There's not as much protocols. Are you seeing them react differently than you did last year to like maybe something you notice like, man, he did this a little bit different compared to a practice?
Yeah, I mean, I just see growth. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing. I don't know differently because I don't remember that much about this time last year. And I don't know if that's a conscious thing. It may be a conscious thing that I don't remember much about, this time last year was so screwed up. Um, I do know that our guys have been eager to come and get better every day. They've worked every day. They've, for the most part, had good attitudes every day. And that's a big part of it. You have to do that every day. You have to be worthy of winning. And you have to show up every day with the mindset that we have to get better and we have to work and we have to be together. And they've done that so far.
Jeff, it seemed I think John's up to 280 now. How much is, as a developing young big, how much is he still kind of figuring out how effectively to use his body in games, and how much did, this was his first, I guess, pseudo game in about a year. I mean,
Yeah.
How much, I don't want to say rust, but how much is he still kind of trying to get back in the feel of things?
Well, it's a lot. It's a lot. And it is rust. It's he's got he's 280 is too heavy. He's got to we have to work on that with him. We have to help him and assist him with that. He's a talented player, and we need him to be a really good player for us. And he has the ability to be a really good player, and it's our job to help him do that.
How much can a guy like Mo help him get where he needs to be?
I mean, he can help us. That's the main thing. I mean, our whole thing needs to be us. Like we need everyone worried about Pitt. They have to become Pitt basketball. I don't want them just playing for Pitt. They have to become Pitt. And so Mo can really help us. And if he helps us, then he's helping John, he's helping Femi, he's helping IT, he's helping everyone.
What did you feel about Ithiel, in his role today? I think he shot 2 of 7 from beyond the arc and made some big shots inside.
I thought he was terrific. I thought he was terrific. 3 assists, no turnovers, made some really good passes, some really good reads, didn't force anything. He's a talented guy, man, and he can shoot. And he took 7 threes. I've told him in front of the team, if he gets 15 threes in a game, I'm happy as long as they're good shots. Because I feel very confident that he's going to make, more than he misses. And even though he's 2 for 7, I know that could be 5 for 7. That could be 6 for 7. That's the confidence that I have in him as long as he's taking good shots. But I love the way that he played overall. I thought he made some terrific passes, some terrific reads. I thought he did a good job defensively. He's actually starting to like defense. And so he's really grown up, especially over the last 2-3 weeks.
Jeff, his confidence was an issue at times last year. You Have you seen the growth in that respect as
I
well?
have. I have. You know, with going through the ACC and having some big games last year, I think there's no question he knows now that he belongs at this level. He can play at this level. Um, and we have a lot of confidence in him. I have a lot of confidence in him. And, you know, I think he's going to be a really good player for us.
You talked about his all-season transformation with us a few weeks ago. You kind of credited Jamarius Burton for that. How much has a guy like Jamarius meant to your team so far? I know he's out right now, but what are you looking forward to the most about him coming back?
Well, it's a big loss for us. You know, with him not being here, he's very important to us. He gives us a maturity and a leadership, to be quite frank, that we have not had since I've been here. There's some things that he did in the first month, you know, that I'm sitting there in a meeting that he called, and I'm watching this. And when we leave, I'm saying to my assistants, like, I'm not sure I've ever seen this, ever. Like, I'm not sure I've ever seen a kid do this. There's a seriousness about him. There's a maturity about him. And I think he's helped all of these guys. It's been an adjustment for him because they haven't been around anyone on the court that talks as much as he does. I don't care if it's a workout, pickup, them running, whatever it is, he's constantly talking. And I think it's rubbed off on everyone. And it's something that we really miss, and hopefully we're able to get him back soon.
When do you expect him?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm still not sure yet. He's progressing really, really well. Hopefully he's able to start doing some individual workouts starting hopefully tomorrow, depending on what the doctor said tonight as they evaluated him. And then, you know, we'll see from there.
Even with him not able to play, though, how much do you still see those kind of qualities that you talked about earlier from him? He's obviously not on the court with them, but how much do you see that even just from the sideline?
You know, you see it some when he's there. Sometimes he hadn't been there because he's been rehabbing during that time. He's been getting his work in during that time. But when he's there, you still hear him. He's awesome in the huddles, which, you know, with whatever group that he's with. And so it's something that, you know, hopefully we get back soon and we get it every day. And then also he's a good player, so that helps too. that he's a good player and he's a ball handler and a decision maker and a guy that, you know, we feel like can help us in a lot of ways.
Will you play the point at all, or is it?
He'll play both.
He'll play both?
He'll play both.
Anything else, guys? All right, thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come together since the last time we talked to you. Since early in
What do you mean?
How's the team coming together with all the new
I
faces?
think the team's coming together fine. I mean, every day we're in practice. I think we're getting closer every day that we practice together, and the competition level is high. So I think we're coming together, you know, as a normal team should.
Jeff was telling us that your confidence is much higher this year, especially he said over the last 2-3 weeks.
Yes, sir.
What's been different for you to get your confidence there?
Just trusting my work.
Mo, in the time that you've gotten to Pitt, I mean, I was curious what the biggest areas of focus have been for you. Like, how have you been allowed, I guess, to play differently than you had previously at Stony Brook, and what sort of role have the coaches taught you about playing?
I mean, overall, I've just been kind of focusing on just completing my game, you know? I mean, I feel like I've always been capable of doing a lot of things on the floor, on the defensive end and on the offensive end. So, you know, being here, they just kept pushing me. You know, they kept telling me, like, be confident. Like he said, you know, it's just been work, just trusting in my work, and, you know, that's really it.
I think one of the biggest things that I noticed was, I think last year at Stony Brook, I saw you averaged like 1.4 3-point attempts per game. Obviously, to that you had 4 and you looked good doing it. How much have you been working on that, and how much is that a part of your game that just hasn't been as evident in previous seasons?
I mean, it's a big part of my game, you know, because I have a lot of those opportunities on the floor, you know, and I feel like my reputation is known to be like a slasher, you know, so I have to make defenders play honest defense by knocking down threes, and that way if they hard close out, then I'll have to be able to slash. But, you know, it's just part of just completing my game, you know. I feel like that's an area that I really focus on since getting here, and, you know, my confidence has gone up.
Well, what's it like to be on the court with John at the same time? What advantage does that give you to have him, for defenses have to worry about him down low, or offenses either way?
I mean, it sets up what he just talked about, you know, open threes, you know, because my defender is sinking down, you know. All of us really, you know, because John is such a threat down there, you know. If he don't score it, it's a foul, you know. So teams know he's a threat down there. He's looking to always pass it to open guys, you know, so it just frees up all of us on the perimeter, you know.
What do you two think was the difference for you on those final 12 minutes or this period when you really pulled away? They cut it to 8. What seemed to change for you guys, or what did you do differently that kind of created that deficit?
I think our energy level spiked. We noticed that the first 4 minutes of the game, our energy was high and our talk was high, and our defense. I think our defense is what allowed us to separate from Gannon, because there was a brief time period where they came down hitting threes, and we weren't getting a lot of stops. We weren't talking. Nobody was, we just kind of zoned out, locked out. So, we made it a plan. Now when we come out second half, we're gonna lock it back in and play defense. That's what helped us.
Jeff was telling us how Femi's part of the energy boost for you guys at times. What do you guys see out of Femi as both a player on the court but also a leader? You said he's also a funny guy. What kind of stuff does he makes him a likable guy for you?
You know, it's impressive because he's only a sophomore, and technically this would be his first year since last year was COVID, but I could see him being a team captain, if I'm being honest. He's really vocal. He is the funny guy that jokes at the team that just makes everybody laugh, but he really looks out for everybody, makes sure everyone's morale is high. He's looking out for everybody, so he's stepped up. I mean, I wasn't here last year, so I don't know how it was, but in terms of being a leader, he's one of our biggest leaders.
Yeah, and on top of that, I mean, like you said, he's a sophomore, so technically kind of this will be his first year, and he's shouldering a lot of responsibility. The coaches are looking to him to be a leader, to talk, to be that kind of guy that pulls the team together, and he's handling it very well. I think joking's probably one of his coping mechanisms for the lot of responsibility he has, but nah, he's definitely coming along.
Is he more like a prankster or just says funny comments?
Yeah, he could be whatever.
Yeah.
He could be
unpredictable.
Yeah, whatever he wakes up feeling and whatever he's thinking, he could be anything, man.
Any press conference appropriate jokes y'all can say?
No, definitely, yeah. But
he's just really it's stuff you wouldn't even really think of. He's just so in the moment. He's just so he's just Femi.
Yeah, I think before the game, everybody was so nervous and kind of tensed up, but he just for some reason he just knows how to
ease everybody.
Yeah,
with his humor,
he knows what to say.
Yeah.
Get everybody laughing and get everybody loose.
If your coach, Capel, was talking about how he trusts you a lot, there's a lot of confidence in your shot. How does that help your mindset as you're playing the game, getting in the flow of the game, be able to take shots and not know the coach as your back?
Yeah, I guess it frees my mind out of some bondage, especially when I go out there and if I miss a couple, I know that he's not gonna pull the leash on me. You know what I'm saying? I think the best defense isn't defense played by the other team. The best defense is when your coach plays defense on you. So the fact that he's instilling me with a lot of trust to shoot the ball, and I know I can shoot the ball at a very high clip. It just kind of adds to my confidence. It's fueled my confidence.
Sorry, Jerry.
Ithiel, how do you view the value of having this game tonight, playing in a week, just to have that opportunity to get out with all the new guys in a game setting?
I value it. I mean, just to be in a game setting, I think is a blessing, for every one of us, and we cherish these moments to play every day. So we're just gonna continue to build on from here. The real work starts now. We got the Citadel on the 9th, a good basketball team. So we're gonna get our minds back locked in and geared up and ready to beat them.
Ithiel, you're one of the guys that can't come over for last year. You were a sharpshooter for the team. You're talking about all the things you got to focus on yourself to be more confident. How do you take those lessons that you're working on for yourself and then try to help some of the younger guys like William Jeffress and guys that are trying to find their shot and who haven't had the chance that you had?
Yeah, I mean, I can take most of the lessons that I learned and help them because I see them they're young guys, so what they're dealing with, I went through when I was their year and their age. So whatever the situation, I can't off the top of my head tell you exactly what lessons I can teach them. But when the situation arises, I know exactly what I can say to them to help them, to get their mind out of it, because I've been through it before.
All right, any other questions, you guys?
Guys, how much more comfort and familiarity, I mean, this team with a lot of new players, Mo being one of them, how much more comfort and familiarity is there between guys than there was, for the first official practice back in late September?
It's like night and day, really. You know, it's like when first everyone was still trying to feel each other out. Everyone was trying to figure themselves out, really. You know, figure out what their games are. Trying to find their places on the floor, what works for them or what doesn't work for them, what works for the team, what doesn't work for the team, you know. And it's like, you know, we still got a ways to go to be where we want to be, you know. But I feel like we've been stacking days, you know, working hard, and it's just been starting to click, you know. So I feel like it's gonna be like that throughout the season, but it's only gonna go up, you know.